What's up guys, welcome back to RC4wd. So our first video on the Blazer build was kind of a cluster. Nothing went right. I had a lot of messed up footage thanks to this new camera lens I got. So hope didn't deter too many people from watching, but next part we've got some progress to make. So I've got the shrink RC door panels in. I was about to go outside and glue those together and get them ready to paint, but got a little storm blow through. So waiting on that to blow on by. Last night before bed I had an idea, so I've spent an hour or so looking for my mirror pieces. These mirrors, two-piece, has a little metal rod, it's threaded on both sides. We got to tighten that one up too. But I know I've got to pack them. I bought that part set for the C10 build, and I had those in a little bag with the other metal parts, and I don't know where I put them. I've been through everything, and yeah, sucks. But I'm not buying another. I mean, it's only like 15 bucks or whatever, but I don't need it. I've got the mirror piece I need here, the base. So you can see here I've already started making my own. I had a broken scale bolt, and I was like, I'm just gonna drill these out. This is M3. I drilled it out by hand because these are kind of delicate, and we're gonna make our own. We're gonna basically use all thread to fix and make a mirror work, which fits the beater build pretty well. Also went and checked out a new hobby shop out here by me, Shaka Hobbies in White House, Texas. Got my ESC and motor rewired. Got a quick connect on the motor wires. So big shout out to them. They got some cool stuff. They've got some racing and stuff that I'm hoping to go check out soon. And probably gain another addiction from RC. They do mini Z racing and they do dirt oval stuff. And they've got those little miniature dirt oval cars. And man, they are kind of cool looking. It's the first time I got to see one in person, but I digress. We got some progress to make on the Blazer. Hopefully we can get it running and test drive it in this video. You can see what I've done. I've just used this drill bit. I'll show you here on the other one. Found the right size. Just doing it by hand. I don't want to force this through. The drill will end up snapping and cracking our mirror. Basically it's just taking off the chrome plating in there, a little bit of plastic. And we're just going to open these up a little bit. And big enough to thread M3 through. I don't think I've done one of the bases yet. Pretty sure these are the same for both. Now the tricky part is going to be bending our rod at the right angle to match the factory one. I went ahead and ran a screw into here to kind of thread it and do the same thing on the base. So I got my vise up here on the table, and I'm just going to put that, put this all thread in it. So we're just going to call it all thread. And yeah, get us a bend. So thinking we can go in that far. I'm just going to bend it right in the middle. This thing clamped in here. I love this vise. I got this in North Carolina at an antiques, or South Carolina at an antique store when I was traveling through there after Axial Fest. Fortunately my trip got cut short then because apparently I had COVID. So made it to South Carolina, spent the night, got up the next day, felt worse, drove to Jacksonville, Florida, and yeah, couldn't do it. Spent the night there and drove straight back home and spent 2 weeks in the bed. Yeah, got this cool vintage vise. I love these. I've got some more on my toolboxes in storage. Needed one for temporary studio. This is the only hammer I could find. Starting to move on me a little bit. Bring it up just a hair so we don't get quite... Don't need a sharp turn, it's got more of a radius to it. That looks pretty, not centered, but pretty good. It's a little crooked, it'll work. Well, I'm just going to start screwing this thing in. Grab the wrong mirror to start with. It's always a good way to start. I'll just force this bad boy on here. See if we can get it to bite. You can see a lot of the threads are smooth. Should have been a little gentler with my hammer. Alright, now we're there. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, well I forgot the mirror piece just snaps in. It'll probably fall out on the trail, but it's a pretty good match. It's one of those little things somebody's going to look at and be like, what the heck? So the main reason I'm doing those is because the shrink RC door panels cover the mount for this. So we got to get this one nice and tight where it doesn't spin, and get the other one on and mounted, because we glued the door panels over it and there's no longer access to it. Another thing that's bugging me about this truck is somebody cut the wing windows out, and I hate the side window pieces on these because they're so thick. So when you go to cut the window out, your wing windows, you can see it. So we may make some of that out of Lexan if I can find any of my scrap Lexan stuff. Try to glue that in while we're in there messing with the door panels, but still got to do all that later once the rain stops. So now it's time to start looking at this electronics. Well, alright guys, so it's been a lot of work. I've got a couple big issues. So, note to self, stop buying used TF2s. And front axle problems. This is a Yoda 2. Usually don't have these problems. I don't know. I haven't taken it apart yet. I tried to pull the screw here out of the knuckle and it's just spitting. So I'm guessing it's been repaired before. I did notice I got bound up on that rock with the tires cut. Don't know if we overextended it, but something inside had popped out through the inside of the knuckle and the cup here. So I don't know. I've got a couple other broken Yoda 1s, so maybe we can salvage some parts and put this back together. I don't know if the housing's bad and that's why this is so tight and it's been stripped and it's held together with Loctite or what. But it was going pretty good. I've got one major problem. The chassis is crooked. It's sitting crooked with the body, so I've got way too much tire tuck on one side. I'm not sure what's causing that other than these worn out body mounts. I did come in here to look at the axle and this screw had already come out, but I've got it tight, or as tight as it'll get. The body's still probably 1/4 inch off to that side, so yeah, we got some more work to do. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the interior. The interior came out great. So I've been playing with some different stuff. First I did that interior with this color wash tint. It's the water-based. Someone recommended these to me. They're very thin. They stay in your skin nicely. Good for doing around the door cracks. I couldn't get it to stay in some of these. This body's got so much stuff going on. It wasn't jiving right. I did the whole interior in it. Wasn't really what I was after. So then I came back with my Vallejo pigment binder and my black pigment. This is carbon black. And man, that came out great. I did those shrink RC door panels in the red. It was Rust-Oleum Satin Heritage Red. And that came out very glossy. Wasn't as satin as it should have been. So that's when this stuff came in. It gets on all the cracks. And you just put the pigment binder, acts as a dulling agent. And it's a glue basically for the pigment. So put that on there and smear it all over everything. And then just rub the black pigment in all the cracks. Just slightly wipe it off and let it air dry. And man, it really made those seats look like vinyl, I think. It really dulled everything down. And yeah, I'm really digging how that interior came out. I was going through some junk boxes and I found really crappy 3D printed CB radio and a rearview mirror. And the rearview mirror broke before I even got the interior in. It was a really bad print. So, but I got some dies hanging up there, and I even put some cracks in the dash, and we used the Shrink RC dash relocation kit, which I did modify a little bit and shorten the dash to bring it forward a little bit more. That brings it up, but it also brings it out a hair. And looks like we could bring it forward a little bit more. There's still a pretty good gap up here in the windshield. Not sure if I can get that to come out on camera. These wipers, you get these on eBay. They're metal wipers. It comes with a black wire. Clamp it around to make a wiper blade, and it says on there works for Blazer, works for Traxxas, works for RC4 drive. It does not fit this RC4 drive at all. You can see there's a little bit more of a gap in the hood because it will not go back far enough now, and I had to make new holes at a different angle to even mount them up. They did not work at all with the RC4 drive holes for the wipers. So China strikes again, but they look pretty good. It's, you know, if this was a nice show truck, I'd be really mad because I can't get my hood where it needs to be. But this truck being a beater works out pretty good. And I went over the entire body, all the rust spots, and I hit it with this black wash because that rust was looking very orangey, so I wanted to dull it down a little bit. Kind of get that stuff a little more brown, a little less orange. One fun thing I did fix that mirror with that screw. Got it mounted up. That mirror mounted differently than the other one. It didn't have a hole through the inside shaft for a pin. It had another hole in the base, like you're supposed to put a screw from the inside. So I ended up drilling everything out and putting a screw in there, and I drilled through my fingertip. It's awesome. That was a good night last night. So got a lot of things done, but yeah, I didn't want to go over the entire body with any kind of weathering or anything yet. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. This video is already probably long enough. I did hit the grill and stuff with this wash as well. See, I got in the headlights. There wasn't any patina or anything in the headlights. The grill looked a little too stark chrome. And some of the chrome on the bumpers was very orange as well, so we dulled that down. And yeah, digging the patina on it and everything. Just sucks there's more drivetrain problems. That motor and everything feels good. The ESC, I went through the programming. I've got those programming cards for those 1080s. Makes it a whole lot easier to pick everything, set it up for LiPo, and pick your brake speeds and everything like that. So that wasn't a big deal at all. What else? I wish I could show you the interior better. It's so dark inside. You can kind of see the crack on the dash there. I put them, like I said, I've been looking at square body stuff on Marketplace for a couple weeks. Got it in my head again that I wanted another project vehicle, but yeah, in the meantime I was learning where all the damage is. So I got a couple cracks in the dash strategically placed. Got our CB up where most of them are mounted on the side of the gauge cluster. Got the actual radio down underneath. And I put that dull coat on everything, that pigment binder. I put it over the plastic shifter boot, put it over the stock steering wheel and everything, and it really takes the plasticky look off of it. I'm not sure if you can see that. I can't get the camera. This new lens I got is complete pain in the butt. Doesn't like low lighting situations, but the red door panels came out awesome. They I did some reels on Instagram with it before it was finished drying, so a lot of people thought it looked shiny, but once that dull coat dried, man, they would look fantastic. And you wouldn't believe how many real square bodies, every one of them, oh, it's got doors off of something else. They take Suburban doors and put them on their pickup, and yeah, they're always red panels. So yeah, just kind of keep with the trend of what I've seen in real life. So again, I got that Tiny Truck Nuts trans kit on there with the metal skid plate. Moves everything around. I didn't really get to try it out because I don't really have a good place to crawl, and then our axles probably snapped. So we'll do some more driving with this next time. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just try to rebuild that Yoda 2 and rock it, or should we just put it aside and wait till we get some K44s or something a little more GM appropriate on there, because the Yoda axles do look a little off, but it is what it is. It's just going to be a fun beater truck. We just got to get it running reliably. You know, daily driver, I could drive it anywhere. That's what they all say. Until you drive it 100 miles and all the wheel bearings and axle seals give out. But, you know, anywhere. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. It's good to have a Blazer again, even if it is a rusty piece of junk. We'll get it sorted out. But until next time, guys, keep it scale. Get out there and do something fun with the hobby. And I'll see y'all in the next video.